Hello, you are listening to Disney Travel Tales. This is episode number 4. This is a space where you can escape the real world and immerse yourself in someone's recent Disney trip. I'm Jenny, and today you are listening to my interview with Karoline. You are going to love hearing their stories. Hearing about their experience visiting Epcot for the first time as 21-year-olds was great. This show is brought to you by our sponsor, Trolley Lane Travel, and owner Becky Abrizetti. Becky and her agents are Disney experts. You will get their personalized attention 24/7 from the moment you start planning all the way to the end of your trip. Your agent is your single point of contact and advocate. Anytime you want to plan a new vacation, just contact your agent directly. Karoline used her mom, Tricia, to help plan her trip. Tricia and all the other agents at Trolley Lane Travel have insider tips and tricks to help guide you along your Disney vacation. The best thing is, they are on top of all the promotions Disney resorts are offering, so you can feel comfortable you are getting the best deal. Saving you time and money is what they are best at. All of this and more is complimentary to you when you book your vacation with them. Let Trolley Lane Travel help you plan your next magical vacation. Visit them on the web at trolleylanetravel.com and go to their Request a Quote page for a free, no obligation quote. They are also on Facebook and Instagram at Trolley Lane Travel LLC. Tell them Disney Travel Tales sent you. Okay, so let's begin our adventure with Karoline. Imagine yourself at your favorite Disney World park. Mine is Magic Kingdom, and let's go. Hi, Karoline. Thanks for joining us on the show today.
Hi! I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk to you. Okay, so why don't you just introduce yourself and let us know your experience with Disney parks and Disney traveling.
Okay, well, I'm Karoline. I'm from the Milwaukee area of Wisconsin, and my Disney experience is quite a bit. I've been going, my first trip was when I was 3 years old, and I've been probably 10 or so times since then. I went when I was in high school with my dance team, so I've even gotten a little bit of like backstage experience and stuff, and then I've gone a couple of times since I've been in college too now. So my family loves Disney. My mom's a Disney travel agent, so we go when we can, and we love it every time.
That's awesome. So your mom is the one who planned your trip, correct?
Yes, she is. She is Tricia with Trolley Lane Travel, and she planned our whole trip. We decided pretty last minute that we wanted to go over my spring break, so she organized everything for us, and it was perfect.
That's so nice. When we went in March, that was the first time I had ever used a Disney travel agent, and I was like, why have I never done this? It's so nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so who traveled with you, and what were your travel dates?
So I went with my boyfriend, Joey. We went to celebrate our 2-year anniversary, and then it was also over my college spring break, so it just kind of worked out. And our travel dates were March 22nd through the 26th of 2021. So.
And what kind of tickets did y'all have?
We did the 2-day park hopper tickets, so we only went the 2 days because we decided so late, so we could only really, like, for sure get in. Our options were Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom. We really wanted Hollywood Studios, but that wasn't an option, so we just decided on Magic Kingdom and Epcot for our 2 days. And if we got to hop, we would hop, so.
That is the nice thing about adding the park hopper is you can get over to Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
Because those park reservations are kind of impossible at this point.
A little bit, yeah, and I know it's because of Rise of the Resistance and everything, but we had ridden it back in December when we went for Christmas before, like, COVID and everything, so we were okay with missing that ride, and it just so happened to work out that we did get to go there eventually.
That's awesome. What airline did y'all fly, and how was your flight?
We flew Frontier. I have, like, the discount end, so that was just the cheapest place to fly. As college students, we just looked for the cheapest place we could find. On the way there, it was great, but our flight was delayed, like, twice. We were supposed to leave at 4, and we didn't really leave till 6 or so. So we didn't get in till Orlando until like 8 or 9, and we didn't get into the hotel until 11:30 maybe. So we got in pretty late the first day.
That's kind of a bummer.
Yeah,
especially when you think you're going to be there early, and then, oh my gosh, to just keep getting delayed, that would be very frustrating.
Yeah, it was a little frustrating. Plus, it was a weird time, so we didn't like full on eat dinner at the airport or anything. And by the time we got to Disney, Pop Century's like cafe was closed, so we couldn't eat there. So we had to just Uber Eats out. We ended up having Wendy's, which was fine, and it was good. I mean, it was super easy if people want to Uber Eats to the resort. It's not very hard. You just meet them in the lobby. So at least we had that option, which was nice.
Yeah, that's some good information. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's awesome. So did y'all do the Magical Express, and how was that?
Yes, we did, and it was great. I mean, we rolled up, our whole flight was late, and we weren't the only ones on our flight going to Disney, so we rolled up with everyone else on our flight that was coming from Disney, and there were already a couple waiting. We boarded, and we probably waited like 10 or 15 minutes before we left Orlando, and our resort was the first stop, so it wasn't too bad.
Oh, y'all got lucky with that.
Yes, we did.
And what resort did you stay at? And just talk a little bit about the resort and your like room location and all that good information.
Yeah, so we stayed at Pop Century. My family usually stays at Pop Century. We obviously have a couple like bucket list ones that we eventually want to stay at, but we like that the Skyliner's right there, and it's just easy and quick. We stayed in the 50 section is where we were. I want to say like the 3rd floor. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it was up. It wasn't the 1st floor. And those rooms are nice. They were just redone. The showers are really nice, all of that. So I really like it there. I don't have a problem there at all. And we were in like the biggest room, so it has that like Murphy bed in it that pulls out and stuff. And my family stayed in that room. And it's a little tight when it's for adults. Like everybody in my family's older now. I'm 21, my brother's 18, so it's a little tight with 4 adults, but it was really good with just me and my boyfriend. We had tons of room. We sat at the little table and everything to eat when we were in the room, so it was nice. I really liked it.
Yeah, when they added the Skyliner so that Pop Century and Art of Animation had to get on, I feel like those became very popular.
Yes, we did wait in line to go to Epcot, and that was a lot. It's definitely, they push you to go there now at this point. Like, they have the signs out that say, go take the Skyliner. It is quicker, and it's nice that it's just your party. You don't have to sit on the bus all crammed next to everyone, but sometimes it's a little slow just because it's so new.
For sure. Okay, so let's talk about your first park day. What park did y'all visit, and what time did you get there, and how did you get there?
So we went to Magic Kingdom on the first day, and we probably woke up around like 6 because I wanted to be there at rope drop, which my boyfriend's not a morning person, so that was interesting getting him up and ready on time to get there. But we got in like right at 8 when the park opened, and it was awesome. As soon as we walked in, you come in through that tunnel, and above the Trolley is closed, but they have characters up there all the time right now. Like Mickey and Friends was there greeting everybody for the morning, so that was super awesome.
That's so cute. We never made it early, so I didn't get to see that, but that's so cute. I like how they're still adding little touches here and there to make guests, a little bit excited. Like seeing that, I'm sure it was kind of like, oh, yay, we're here.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's not as many people, so you can really tell when, they're talking to you or waving at you or whatever it is. So it's very personal now because of lower capacity and everything. So it was very cool. I love seeing them, all that. We saw a bunch of other characters throughout the day too. So. And
y'all had no problem with the bus that morning?
No, we got in line, and the line was a little long, but it was like bus, bus, bus. So I think it's easier for them to get buses out to, Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom, since Hollywood Studios and Epcot are on Skyliner. So those were a little quicker, I think, because of that. So
yeah, that's really nice. That's awesome. What was the first ride y'all did?
So I'm a big fan of Splash Mountain, and I've been since they announced that it was going to change, but both times I didn't get to ride it. one time it was just me and my mom, and she's not a fan of Splash Mountain, and I didn't want to wait in an hour wait by myself. So I was like, we're running over there. So what we did is we got in the park, we saw the characters, we stopped at the Emporium. My boyfriend got a new mask. It was a Mickey one, just because he wanted a new one for the trip. And we actually got the I'm celebrating buttons, and they wrote 2 ears on it instead of years. Super cute. Everybody was
so cute.
Talking to us all day about it, but we were excited to get the buttons. And then we ran right over Splash Mountain. We didn't even eat breakfast or anything. I was like, this is what we're doing. And I mean, we got there and there was no line. We basically walked on. It was a 5-minute wait because it takes 5 minutes to get through the queue. And we were behind these 2 guys, and they had to have been like huge fans of Splash Mountain. The one guy had on this shirt that was like custom airbrushed with Splash Mountain.
That's
it was
awesome.
So fun. So it was awesome to ride that like right off the bat. I was really excited we got it done because the rest of the day, the wait was probably an hour or longer the entire day.
That ride is the longest wait. I don't know. Well,
it's a long ride too.
Yeah. That must be why. And because everyone wants to ride it before they shut it down to change it. I think that has to do with it as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's so hard to get any like merch or anything like that because everybody's like, we need to get it in before it changes. I am a big fan. I wanted like the pin and sold out forever. Still don't have one. I don't know if they'll drop anything more, but yeah, I'm a fan of it, and I was excited that we got to ride it right away.
That's so fun. So what'd y'all do after Splash?
So after Splash, we just kind of were chill because I rode the ride I really wanted to ride for the day. So we knew we wanted to get breakfast, but on our way through Frontierland, we actually saw Chippendale waiting above where like the Country Bears Jamboree is. So and they had the like little cowboy outfits on. It was the cutest thing ever. You could take selfies with them, and Chippendale is my favorite. I was actually wearing this windbreaker I have that has Chippendale on the back. It says Double Trouble. It's like this like light pink.
Oh,
and they like pointed to me and they were like, I love your little windbreaker. So I was excited to get to see them and get little pictures with them. And then we went over to Sleepy Hollow. So we really wanted the chicken and waffles. But I guess I didn't know this, and I felt bad because I promised Joey chicken and waffles, but I guess it's not till lunch or later. So I got the Nutella waffles. And he just got regular waffles because he's allergic to nuts, so he couldn't have the Nutella ones. But we just kind of relaxed and had some waffles, had some iced coffee, chilled out. It was really good. I was a big fan of the Nutella waffle.
Oh, yeah. I love Sleepy Hollow. That's my favorite place to eat at Magic Kingdom. It's so good.
Yeah, I wish I would have known about the chicken and waffles because I probably would have went somewhere else and then got that for lunch. But it's so good. I was not disappointed at all with mine, at least.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's so good. So what'd y'all do after that?
We went and we rode Hanami-Japan just because it was like right there and that was easy. And the line wrapped almost like way back. And I was like, this is going to be forever. It was listed at a half hour. But I was like, this looks way longer than a half hour. And it maybe took us 15 minutes to get on. So a lot of the wait times are listed longer, and it takes like most of the time. I don't want to be bold and say half the time, but often it was half the time, at least, or less. So that one was really easy to get on. And then we rode Peter Pan's Flight, which is another one that's usually super, super long. And we waited like 15 minutes because you go through right now, since the Harbor House is closed, you actually go through the Harbor House to get to like the queue and stuff. So that was cool. We really like that one too, just because it's a classic.
I love Peter Pan. I think it's so cute flying over. Oh, I just think it's so cute. And the queue's really cute too.
It is. It's so cute. It's not quite set up the same, like you can't interact as much anymore just because of COVID and everything, but it was still super cute, and like Tinkerbell flies around and everything, so it was a quick one too. Usually you stand in there for a while.
Oh yeah, when we went, we waited 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even pre-COVID and everything, it was always like 120 minutes, and it was like crazy long. And we never rode it, even though it was like my dad's favorite ride. We would never ride it because it was always so long. But the last couple times we've been there, we've caught it when it was short, and it's always definitely one to get in earlier rather than later.
Absolutely. So I meant to ask, was this your boyfriend's first time to Disney World, or had he been before?
No, he went a couple times when he was younger because his sister was on the dance team and they went to Disney. She was older than me, but they still did the same thing every year. And then we all went on a big trip in December for Christmas in 2019. So it was like right before COVID, so everything was normal at that point. So that was the first time he was there with me. This was the first time we were there like by ourselves completely, no supervision at all.
That's so fun.
Awesome.
You get to do whatever you wanted.
Yes, and it's a lot easier with only 2 people.
Yeah.
You don't realize.
Zip around. Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what we did. We bounced around everywhere the whole day. So
that's fun.
It was very easy.
Yeah, that's fun. I was just wondering because I didn't know, since y'all both had been, y'all kind of knew what y'all like to do. That was probably, y'all knew which rides to hit. That's maybe probably more efficient.
And yes, it did make it more efficient, and he knows how much we love it and everything, so he was like, I'm prepared for whatever you got. Just tell me where to go. I was like, well, I want you to pick stuff too, and we'll do it as we go. And he's like, yeah, but you're the map, so you know where to go.
That's great. Okay, so what'd y'all do after Peter Pan?
After Peter Pan, we went over to Fantasyland. We rode like Little Mermaid, and we were checking out like the shops over there. Took a lot of pictures. We love taking pictures. And so before our trip, my mom tried really hard to get us a reservation to be our guest. And it just wasn't happening. She was on every day in the morning, lunch, evening. Nothing was coming up. And so a little background. My boyfriend and I went to prom together when I was in high school. And he asked me Beauty and the Beast, and he took me to see the live action movie when it came out.
Aww.
Then he asked me like the Rose, so
that's sweet.
Like, yeah. So Beauty and the Beast is a little bit our thing. So she really wanted us to go there.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't working out. But she was like, try just walking up there and seeing what's up. So we were like, okay. So after we rode the Little Mermaid, we walked up, and they still weren't open yet. He was like, come back around noon. So we were like, okay, I guess. We walked over. We got LeFou's room over at Gaston's, and we got the Gray Stuff cupcake, and that took like 5 minutes. We walked around a store, and then we went back because it was about noon at that point. We were like, do you have anything at all? And he was like, yeah, it's going to be 45 minutes. We were like, okay, we don't care. We'll wait for that. We don't have any plans for the day. Like, we don't have any other reservations or anything. And so we put our name in, and he was like, you can walk back in there and go to the right, and there's like a seating area and everything. So we're like, okay. We walk back in there. As soon as, we aren't even through the door, and the guy was like, for Joey? And we were like, yeah, he told us 45 minutes, and he was like, come on, your table's ready. We were like, oh, okay.
That's the best surprise. It's almost better if they tell you one time.
It was so awesome. We were both so excited. Like, we were prepared to, like, relax, drink our little drinks, eat our little cupcake, chill. No, we walked right in there. It was so exciting.
That's awesome. What room did y'all sit in?
We sat in, like, the main room, so that was super cool.
The ballroom. Yeah, that's so pretty.
Yes, the ballroom. It is. It's so pretty in there. We've been there, like, the family went for breakfast, which is a little different, especially pre-COVID. It was different. So, and we sat in like Belle's favorite room is what they call it. And I was kind of hoping for the West Wing, but the main ballroom's always really nice. And it was a great lunch.
What'd y'all get?
So we both got the steak because right now it's the pre-select where it's like, I think $60 a person, and you pick your appetizer, your entree, and your desserts are already chosen for you. So I got the charcuterie board. I'm really into charcuterie boards. I like the meat and cheese, and it was really good. It's definitely fancy. It feels very fancy, and it comes down like this. It feels like stone, but it's not super heavy, so it goes with the theme nice. And then I think he got the lobster bisque is what it was, and he loved that. It was so good. And I've had the steak before there. My mom and I went there. We were able to get a reservation when we went, so we went there. And when we were there, I told her it was the best steak I'd ever had in my 21 years of life. So I was really hyping it up to Joey, just like, this is the best steak I've ever had. And he was like, yeah, that did not disappoint at all. That was so good.
It is a very good steak.
I don't know what they do, but it just like melts in your mouth. It's so good.
I agree. And if you're going to pay that much for dinner, you might as well get the steak.
It's exactly what my thought was. I was like, well, you could get these other things, or you could get the steak.
Right.
And with that, my boyfriend ordered us the house champagne. Like, he was like, what drinks do you have? Because we were celebrating our anniversary. So he's like, I'll get a champagne. It was $20 a glass, which is a lot for 2 college students. I was like, ow, that hurts. But okay, if you want to get it for us, that's fine. I appreciate it. So we had the house champagne, and it was really good. Our server did not steer us wrong with anything that he recommended.
That's great. And then the cute little dessert that comes out, y'all liked all the options on it?
Yes. So since my boyfriend's allergic to nuts, I didn't realize this, but I'm trying to think of the word, what are they? The macaroons are like almond, and then the truffle I knew had hazelnut. So I know he had the gray stuff, and his truffle wasn't hazelnut, it was something else, and I think he just got 2 truffles instead of the macaroon, which I was kind of sad, because I was like, I wish you could eat this macaroon. I thought you would love it, but I guess. So
he told them ahead of time, and they had options for him?
Yeah.
Yes,
they did. Nice. For everything. They asked, like, as soon as you sit down and order your drinks, anybody have any allergies or anything? They're very good about that.
That's really good to know.
Yes.
So that was a great lunch. Yay.
Yes, it was, and it was awesome because we were celebrating our anniversary and everything, and the manager came over. All these different people had come through and like congratulated us, and the beast even waved at us and gave us a heart, which was sweet because he still comes through. You just can't like take pictures with him the same as you used to, but he's super awesome. He's a crowd pleaser. When the beast comes through, everybody claps, he waves, he does a little dance. It's awesome.
That's so fun.
Because it was our anniversary, we got like a postcard, and it had like the stained glass picture of the castle, and then on the back it says "Be Our Guest" and it's signed by the beast. So cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was sweet, and they gave us like an extra gray stuff on a plate shaped like Mickey, and it said "Happy Anniversary" on it. It was very sweet.
That's so cute. So that's good to know if people are heading to the parks to, if it's their anniversary, hype it up.
Yes, they're good about all kinds of special occasions, and it was nice to have my mom calls it pixie dust, pixie dust in our day.
That's so
She
fun.
posted about it on Instagram too. She was so excited. I called her when we were sitting there, and I was like, guess where I am? She was so excited.
That's so fun. I'm so happy y'all got to do that. Okay, so what'd y'all do after lunch?
So after lunch, we went all the way back to Frontierland to ride Big Thunder, because that's another one that we both love a lot. We got in line, and it said 40 minutes. And I was like, do you want to wait 40 minutes? And he's like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. We walked on the ride. I don't know how it happened or who was coming up with the wait time, but it took us like 5 or 10 minutes to walk through. And I know when you get further down the line, it's supposed to like split off and pick a side. And people weren't picking the other side, so I was like, let's go. Like, I know how this works, let's go. And we sat in the front and we walked right on.
You know, I've heard that with Big Thunder. These long wait times, but people are just walking right on. So whoever's in charge of that wait time, they are not doing it right.
Yeah. Well, that queue is huge, too, because usually it is a very long line when it's regular life, and so it takes a minute to see it through it, but I think people don't realize that you can pick a side. Yes. So the one side had like a line, and I was like, we're not doing that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that queue can get so hot.
Yes, my mom had bought them for us when we went, because we went in the summer, so it's very hot in the summer, but I had a neck fan that was like USB charged that we shared each side throughout the day. And that was probably the only time we even pulled it out was when we were headed over there, and it's so sunny over there. There's no shade.
So after Big Thunder, what did y'all do?
After Big Thunder, we decided to cut over to Adventureland because there's that area where it connects. And we hopped in line for Pirates of the Caribbean, and the wait was listed at 45. And that was probably the longest wait we waited, and it was about 45 minutes. It was very hot because it came out of, like, the cover and wrapped all the way around, out towards, like, Jungle Cruise even. I'm not sure, I can't remember which direction it was, but I want to say it was towards Jungle Cruise. And we were standing in, like, the sun for a while. That was probably where we got the most tan.
That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. That always is a long wait too.
Yes, and usually it feels like it goes by fast, or at least once you get in there, but it took the whole 45 minutes. Like, we had time to take pictures in the queue and stuff, so I have pictures of the two of us waiting.
When y'all were in line, did you notice if people were staying on their markers, or were they bunching together?
It was kind of back and forth. If it was like a really big party, they obviously didn't have a ton of room, but like the two of us, we stayed on our marker the whole time. And people would like inch closer, but not to the point where it used to be where you're like on top of each other. There was still a pretty good gap, which was nice, but yeah.
That is good to know. Okay, so did y'all like Pirates? Did y'all enjoy that ride?
Yes. Yes, I love that ride. I love those movies. Yes, that was a must-do for me as well. Everything's a must-do for me, honestly, but that was one that we really like to do. And I always talk about the smell of the pirate water. And I don't know why, but he never really, like, noticed it. So once we, like, went down the drop and everything, I was like, there it is. Do you smell it? Do you smell the pirate water? And he was like, oh, this is what you mean? Oh, this is pretty good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
See, you're an expert. You got to point those things out.
I did. And I was like, you see this? This over here changed recently, and there's Jack and everything. He goes, I love that. I always wish when I ride this that it's the time that Johnny Depp will be there. Because remember he went when they first changed it and like
yes.
was there. I was like, I wish, but probably not with COVID.
I know. Oh man. Okay, so what'd y'all do after Pirates?
After Pirates, we got some Dole Whip because he had never had it, and I had never. Well, I had it. My mom and I went and had it, but I don't know how we ended up missing it at Christmas, but we missed it. And he's someone that loves like smoothies, fruity stuff, all of that. So I was like, "You need to have this."
It's so.
So we went over to the Orange Bird, and I don't remember which one he got. I know mine was strawberry with like the strawberry Fanta or whatever. Mm-hmm. I want to say he got the specialty one that was there at the time, which was like orange and pineapple and something.
Okay.
And he really liked it. We took him and we sat in front of the castle and we just hung out for a little bit. We took some pictures in front of there and everything, and we were just literally sitting on the sidewalk, chilling, taking it all in, enjoying our Dole Whip.
That's really fun. Just sitting and relaxing and being able to take your mask off. How was wearing masks?
Yes. It wasn't terrible. I like to wear a disposable one because that's the one that, like, is the most breathable. But he had no problem with his one that he bought at the Emporium when we got there. He wore it all day. And it was, I think it hit maybe 80 by, like, peak heat for the day. And it wasn't terrible. I had started out the day in a windbreaker, and I lost it by the end of the day. I put it in the backpack, but it wasn't unbearable. It was way better. My mom and I went in very early September, and it feels like 104, and we were dripping. But it wasn't, like, suffocating or anything.
That's good. Oh, yeah. Like, now that they've dropped the mask rules for being outdoors, I bet people going this summer are so glad. Because I can
so glad, and it's so crazy to see videos already of people just walking around without masks. I showed her a video. I was like, "Isn't this crazy compared to when we were there?" And she's like, "Yeah, but it's awesome. It's exciting to see people."
It is exciting to think things are slowly getting back to normal.
Mm-hmm. During our break, we actually saw 2 different cavalcades come through, which was awesome. We saw the first one was Tinkerbell on the big treasure chest come through, and then the second one, I don't know what you would call that group. It's definitely an interesting mix of characters that comes through, but it was Gaston and, like, Aladdin and Max, like Goofy's Max, and Mary Poppins, and I want to say Pooh. It was just like an interesting mix of, and I came through on that like present party float that they have. It was awesome though, because like you feel like you're talking right to them. You're like right there, and they're like hi, and they're like hi, and they wave directly at you.
Yeah.
So it's very cool.
That is fun. Did y'all like the cavalcades?
Yes, I think they're so cute. They're so fun. And they talk right to you, and they seem like they're having such a good time. It makes it's nice because the crowds don't form. I understand the reasoning behind it, and it is nice to just see it quick, because sometimes you don't want to sit through an hour-long parade.
Oh, yeah.
So it's nice to see them through real quick, and you can tell everybody gets really excited when things come out, so. And they play the music the whole way through and everything, so it's awesome.
Yeah, I think they're fun, too. And they do feel more personal.
Yeah, they really do. Mm-hmm. And we didn't see the princesses. I was a little disappointed. Obviously, I love the Disney princesses, and we didn't see any. But I mean, when my mom and I were there, the princesses came through, and they had the fairy godmother there too. And she talked like directly to me, and I was like, that was the coolest thing ever, because that was the first time I had experienced them being that direct. I was like, wow, she pointed right at me and was like, I like your ears, and I was like, thank you.
Oh, that's so fun. That's so sweet. I love it. Yeah. Okay, so after the cavalcades, what'd y'all do?
After the cavalcades, we decided to go over to Tomorrowland finally. And we took pics at the purple wall, which were awesome. We were standing there, and I was having my boyfriend take pictures of me. And this girl that was, like, standing over there hanging out, she was like, do you want me to take pictures of you? And we were like, of course, yeah, thank you so much. So those are some of my favorite pictures from the thing for sure, just because, I don't know, something about the purple wall just gives us nice, like, light. It's great lighting over there because it's in the shade. Those are some of my favorites. At least I made him stop to do that for sure.
Yeah, that is a nice little area. And that's nice someone took your picture, because with COVID and stuff, people are like, oh, I can't get near you. Yeah. So that's really nice.
So what we actually did for that often is I had like a backpack. So I set my backpack on a garbage can. I leaned my phone onto my backpack on the garbage can, and then had the self-timer. So if anybody needs a tip for how to take pictures of yourself when it's just two of you, that's the best way. It works out. A lot of the angles are great.
That is brilliant. Like, I think you could use that anywhere in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's garbage cans everywhere in Disney. Yeah. So it's very easy to find the right angle. Like, we had two different sides of the castle that we did that at. So that definitely worked out a lot for us.
That's great. You know, I actually heard that when Walt was building Disneyland, he researched how many steps someone would take before they wanted to drop their trash, and it was 30 steps. So there's like a trash can every 30 steps or something like that. Mm-hmm. So crazy. And
that's how they keep it so clean. He must have been right, because it's always so clean there. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so what rides did y'all do in Tomorrowland?
So over in Tomorrowland, we did Space Mountain. Great time, loved it. And then when we got off of Space Mountain, you know how they have that little like store? It's like a tech store with Space Mountain merch and stuff. And so we both designed custom phone cases while we were there. That was like the thing I wanted to get myself while I was there, was a new phone case. So I designed my phone case, and it's Baby Yoda, and it has my name on it.
So how long did that take?
It took about a half hour, they said it would take, maybe a little longer. So while that was being done, my boyfriend designed one too. His had Mickey all over it, and it said Joey. So while we were waiting, we went and rode Buzz Lightyear, what's it called? Galactic Spin, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, something like that.
But where you shoot the little aliens and stuff. Uh-huh. So we rode that, and then we went back and picked up our phone cases, and we just kind of relaxed again for a little bit, changed our phone cases immediately. We were like, well, what do we want to do for the rest of the day? And we just, like, talked about our day and stuff. We had a lot of time to just hang out, which was awesome, considering we also got everything we wanted to do done.
Yeah, that's nice. That's the bonus of going with two people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. We were upset that the People Mover was still closed because he loves that one, but so we hung out there for a little bit, and always checking the ride times on My Disney Experience. That's definitely the most helpful thing of all of it is it's literally right there in your hand. You don't have to walk all the way over there to see.
Yes.
So when we were sitting there, we checked the ride times, and I want to say Seven Dwarfs Mine Train was at like 45 minutes. And for the whole day, it had been so long, like 70, 80, I want to say 90 at one point. And I love that ride, but it is just not worth that wait for us. But at 45, we were like, all right, let's go get in line. So we got in line, and we probably waited 25 minutes or a half hour.
That's amazing.
So we were very excited about that, because that was one that we were ready to just kind of take the hit on and not have ridden. But we were very excited that we got through that quick, and it is really fun.
Oh, yeah, for 20 minutes, that's totally worth waiting for.
Yeah. So we cut through all that, and we came out of there after a 25-minute wait, which we were super excited about. And then we went and rode Winnie the Pooh, which we were probably the oldest people in that line other than parents. But I wasn't going to feel bad about it. I was like, let's ride this ride. I promise it's fun. And so we laughed the whole time.
I love that ride, though. It's so cute.
It is, and you, like, don't expect it. You expect it to just kind of be, like, a slow-moving ride that you just look at stuff. But then, like, Tigger comes in and you're bouncing around and everything. It's cute. I love Winnie the Pooh.
It's a fun ride. I like it, too.
Yeah. And then after that, I mean, we just kind of walked around, took more pictures, and eventually it was starting to get a little bit dark, but not crazy, so we went over to Jungle Cruise, because that was the last one that my boyfriend was like, we have to ride this. I was like, alright, whatever, we'll wait in a really long line. It's not that I don't like that ride, I just don't like the wait for it, especially at that point in the day.
Yeah, it's always a long wait. I mean, I think you might have to do that the first thing in the morning to not have to wait.
Yeah, and they actually had people going through the Fast Pass lane instead. It was listed as a half hour, so it really wasn't bad. We probably waited like 20, 25 minutes, so it was pretty close to what was listed. And by the time we got through, they had like the spotlights on and stuff because it was getting dark. So it's interesting to ride through at night versus day too. Yeah, and just see everything. And they had the subtle updates because they're moving towards the movie and whatnot. So that was fun to see too. And then after that, I mean, we did nothing. We went and we shopped at the Emporium, which was a wait to get into. Because it was like 8 o'clock at night at that point, so it was quite a line, but it moved very fast. And it was also very hectic in there. People were like running.
It's so funny because they're like, oh, we can only let so many people in and social distance, and then you get in there and it is like crowded and it's a madhouse.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. It's very chaotic. And we shopped, we bought a couple things, and at that point, it was about time for park to close. Like, when we had gotten out of there, Mickey and friends was back where they were during the day, and they were, like, talking, kind of doing the kiss goodnight or whatnot. But we had gone all day, and we hadn't had any Mickey bars, and that is, like, both of our favorite thing. Uh-huh. So he was like, let's see if somebody knows the closest one, and we'll get it, and we'll just wait. I was like, all right, let's do it. We sat on the hub grass. We had Mickey bars. We watched people like run around taking pictures or running to the last ride for the night and stuff. So it was fun to kind of people watch and just take it all in, for sure.
That sounds so much fun. Like stress-free, fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's complete.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was nice to relax. It was nice to, like, really take a second to take it in, because every time we go, we're like, we don't know when we'll be back, and then we end up back pretty soon.
Right.
At least recently, but he was like, let's just sit here and take it all in and relax, and I was like, all right, that works for me. I'll sit on the hub grass. And the castle was all lit up, like, purple and blue and everything, so it was beautiful.
That's so fun. So
we were a little teary leaving for sure.
Was that the last time y'all went to Magic Kingdom on this trip?
Yes.
Okay.
It was and we decided to spend the whole day there because it's the biggest, there's the most to do. We wanted to take everything in, so we just kind of committed to it being the only thing to do that day. If we wanted to hop the next day, we could, but we were cool with just hanging out all there. all day there.
And that's smart too, especially if you're relying on bus transportation, because then that takes just possibly an hour just to hop.
Yeah. And it's so late. Like, you can't hop until 2, which feels really late, especially when some of them close as early as they do. Right. You don't feel like you can do everything. So we just committed to not hopping that day, and it was worth it. We had a great time there.
That's great. Did y'all ride the bus back to the resort, and how was that? Was there a long wait?
We did ride the bus back. It wasn't terrible. Probably like 10 minutes or so. And right now, because of COVID, everybody gets a seat, which is nice. I remember when I was younger being very upset to not have a chair on the bus. So It was nice to take a load off for the quick little bus ride back.
Did the park feel crowded while you were there?
No, not really. It felt... So my mom and I had gone in September, so it had been quite a bit of time where they opened to a little bit more capacity, but it didn't feel crowded per se. It did feel like there were people there, but it wasn't the usual wall-to-wall, barely can walk down Main Street kind of thing. Like, it was nice to walk around and not bump into somebody every 10 minutes.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
And on your notes it said y'all walked 21,958 steps. That's crazy. Like, in a regular day in someone's life, that's like unbelievable.
Yes, I love looking at that stuff at the end of Disney days, how far you walked, how many steps you took, because you walk around all day, by the end of the day your feet hurt, but you just had like the best day ever, so I love seeing how far we actually walked, because it did not feel like that at all.
Oh my gosh, that's just so crazy. I saw that and I was like, what?
Yeah, it was like 8 miles. I was like, this park isn't that big, so we circled it so many times.
Oh yeah, just back and forth and back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your next park day, where did y'all go first, and how did you get there?
Our next day was a very busy one, but it was amazing. We went to, our reservation was for Epcot, so Epcot doesn't open until 11. So we had to sleep in, we had breakfast at our hotel, we had Mickey Waffles. We're waffle fans, obviously. So we had Mickey Waffles, and we probably got in line for the Skyliner at 11. And we waited there for a while.
Yeah, that can be quite a long wait.
Yeah, it was, especially because you, like, cross over, and we were at, I want to say the Rivieras. Yes, the Riviera is where you get off, and then you wait at Epcot, and we had to go all the way out of the Skyliner depot area, all the way down the sidewalk, out and around, and we were, like, in the street waiting in line.
My goodness. I know, I love the Skyliner, but sometimes I just wonder, is this really the best way to get there?
Mm-hmm. And I do love the Skyliner. I didn't mind waiting that long. It was probably like 20 minutes or so, which is a while for the Skyliner for sure. But it's really nice to be there by yourself. You get to look at everything from above, which is so awesome. I love seeing, like, Caribbean Beach down there, and we saw the Riviera coming in, and it's awesome to see Epcot from the back, because now you can see, like, the Ratatouille ride and everything in France, so I love the Skyliner, and it does feel quick while you're on it, so.
I know, I love going into that entrance at Epcot better than the front.
Yes.
I don't know, it feels more exciting when you get off. It's like you're right there. I don't know, maybe it's because all the construction
in the middle of it.
In the front. Yeah. So that's fun. Okay, what'd y'all do when y'all got to Epcot?
So we got to Epcot. We were trying to vlog our whole trip, so we made sure to, like, take videos of our magic bands making the noise when you enter and everything. And then we went into the little store that's, like, right there on that entrance.
Uh-huh.
And so they were having, because it was pretty close to Easter, so they were having an Easter egg hunt. And they were having, it was Flower and Garden Festival, so there was, like, a flower challenge to do. So we signed up to do both of those. I want to say they were, like, $8 each. And you go around the world and you find specific flowers on the map. And then the Easter eggs were just, like, in countries. They were probably, like, at least 2 feet tall. Like, they were pretty big.
They're jumbo
and they were all
eggs.
different characters. I had never heard of it, but I saw it on somebody's Instagram before we left. And I was like, that sounds cool. I've never heard of it. We have to do it.
That's cute. That sounds fun.
So we got those in that little store, and then we just started hunting. We went to, when you get in there, to the left is London and all that, so that was the way we went first, just because that was the easier way. We didn't really want to go all the way around the world yet. We kind of wanted to get other rides in first and then go around the world. So we started to the left. We found, what was the Easter egg that was in London? It was the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland.
Uh-huh.
And it's so fun because when you do it, you can tell when other people are looking for it too.
Right.
So it was so funny watching other people, and eventually, I hate to say it, but we ended up Googling it because we could not find it anywhere. We asked a cast member, and he was like, it's going to be back in this garden. We were like, okay. So we're looking everywhere because we didn't expect them to be these giant eggs at the time.
Right.
So we're looking for like this kind of little egg that it will be hard to spot, and it ended up being on this like tall pillar, and it was 2 feet tall, and I was like, literally all we had to do was look up.
That's so funny.
Like, we had spent probably 10, 15 minutes looking for it, and we were like, well, okay.
When we went, we did the flower hunt, and I had to Google some of the flowers because I was like, we're standing in the place where it's supposed to be. I can't find it anywhere, so I was like, I just have to Google this. But I didn't tell my daughter.
And at least for the flower hunt, it was nice because you just look for the bee.
Uh-huh.
If you found the bee, you were pretty close.
Right.
The egg hunt not like that. You really just had to keep your eyes peeled. There was no, hey, maybe it's this way.
Mm-hmm. That's fun, though.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that. We went through and we went into the, like, I don't know what that building's called. The World Showcase, like, center, I guess.
Uh-huh.
It's like that big building between, I want to say, England and Canada is where it's between.
Uh-huh.
So we went in there to eat again. So we went in, and it's super pretty in there. But they had, I want to say, like 4 different little booths with like food and stuff. So Joey went and got this like pulled pork sandwich, and then I decided to branch out, and I had this salmon tartare that was on house-made cheddar biscuits.
Yum. Was it
They
good?
were so yummy.
Oh yeah, that sounds so good.
Yes, both of them were so good, and we were like, all right, now we need to eat around the entire world. And this was our first time both being there, being 21. So drinking around the world was very exciting for us.
Yes.
So with like everywhere we went, we were like, do we get a drink? Do we not? We got one when we were there. And I got this maple bacon stout, which was like a beer or whatever. And it was pretty good. It was definitely for a certain taste palette for sure.
Uh-huh.
But I liked it. I thought it was all right. And my boyfriend had this watermelon cider beer thing. It was really good too. I don't think we had a bad drink when we were there, honestly.
That's great. That's so fun.
And after we went in there, we left. There was another egg over there, so we had found that and everything. And back in there, they had these really cute, like, Mickey and Minnie topiaries with these giant, like, pink flowers and everything. They were holding hands. So we had taken a picture in front of them, which was cute. Probably some of my favorite pictures, too.
Uh-huh.
All the flowers were just gorgeous. I love the flower garden. It's so pretty.
It is so pretty. I love it, too.
And once we had come out of there and we had taken our pictures and everything, Mickey and Minnie had been rolling through in their little, like, white carriage cart that was, like, I think horses were leading it or whatever. So we got to see Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah, that's so fun to see them. When we were at Epcot, we didn't get to see them. We saw the princesses, but we didn't see them, and my daughter was kind of sad.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but the princesses are
See,
cute.
we only saw Mickey and Minnie. That was it. That was the only sighting of the day, at least at Epcot.
That's so interesting. I wonder if it's on a time schedule, or I wonder if they just like, okay, we're going to roll you out. Like, I wonder how that all works.
I think it, like, is but isn't, because, you know, if they kept it on a time schedule, then people would start gathering. Alright?
That's
so they kind of want to surprise you. But I think it's kind of around the same time each day.
Yeah, maybe there's just like an order. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, it's just interesting how that all works.
Definitely.
So what else did y'all do over in Epcot?
We ate around the world a little bit. Some other food we had. I had some seared scallions from Canada, We had this pork shank from Japan that was awesome. It like fell off the bone. I just pulled the bone out and I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
That sounds so good.
And we did a lot of like each getting our own thing and then sharing it because that was cheaper and quicker.
And that's the way to do it. You can try more foods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we got so much more food. And we went to the orange bird stand and we had the orange wine slushie.
Ooh, yeah.
And yes, it was so good. We were both like, wow, this was the choice to make. It was probably our favorite drink of the day.
That sounds good.
It was. And they have, like, the non-alcoholic version that comes in the orange bird. So it was cool to see all of it. Like, they had alcoholic drinks and non-alcoholic drinks. There was so much food everywhere. It might be a little overwhelming to some, but I think it's awesome. I love going to each country and being like, oh, that sounds really good. Just gonna step in line real quick.
Yeah.
And we went around the world some more. We rode Figment, and that was kind of the only ride that we rode, at least for the first half of the day at Epcot, which I love Figment. I had a great time.
Was there a long wait for that?
We waited like a half hour. I've never waited that long in my life. I was like, this line is long. I was a little surprised.
I know. I don't know why that line, it always seems to be long too. And I'm not sure why, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cute ride, but I was surprised that it was that long because when my mom and I went, we waited like 5 minutes. We basically walked on to it. So I was like, all these people are very interested in Figment suddenly.
Just trying to get the rides in, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So we rode that. There was a cute little Figment topiary right in front of it, so we took pictures of that. And then we went over and we found the butterfly house, which was super cool. And actually, Pooh, okay, I lied. We saw two characters because Pooh was out catching butterflies with his net over in that little area. And he waved at us. He was so cute. I loved it. And the butterflies were super interesting because it's a bunch of like live butterflies. So they're all fluttering around and you can like learn stuff. I got some cute pictures in there too.
That's cute.
And then after that, we ate around the world some more. We had made it all the way back to Mexico at that point. And we went through, we didn't do Three Caballeros yet because that wait was like, it was outside, which it's an indoor ride, if you know, it's in like the temple in Mexico. So the fact that it came all the way outside, I was like, yeah, no, we're not going to wait for that. We'll come back later.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So we like went through and everything. We stopped in Italy for a while. My boyfriend is Italian, so he gets very excited about that kind of stuff. And he got us like wine from in Italy, and we sat and drank some wine, ate some food, looked at everything. He sent pictures to his family because like his grandpa like came over from Italy, so it's pretty close down the line. So he was like, "Look how awesome this is!" So we talked to them for a little bit, and by then it was probably around 3 or so. I mean, we only got there at 11, and by 5, we had decided to leave and go to Hollywood Studios. So what you do when you park hop is there's a line that you have to call, which I thought was interesting, but I guess it makes sense with COVID and everything and capacity. There's a line you have to call, and they'll say if there's like a park that's closed or whatever, and if not, they don't say anything. They were like, we'll let you know if the park's closed, but if not, just assume that it's open and have a magical day. And I was like, cool, let's go to Hollywood Studios then.
How'd y'all get to Hollywood Studios?
So it's actually super easy from Epcot because you can take the Skyliner. So we went out the way we came in, got on the Skyliner, did our little transfer, and we got there pretty quick. I mean, we probably left at 4:45-ish, and we were walking into Hollywood Studios at 5.
Yeah, that's a really short ride. I mean, like the Skyliner ride, it's not far at all.
Yeah, it was not far at all. So we got in there, we were taking pictures and everything, and the music came on, but nobody was out yet. So I was like, oh my goodness, there's going to be a cavalcade. Let's just stand here. So we were right where they come out for the beginning of the cavalcade, and it was a Pixar one. So we got to see, like, Mr. Incredible and Buzz and Woody and the soldiers. I have a video. Oh, the soldiers pointed to our buttons and all told us happy anniversary.
Oh,
so it was awesome.
Cool.
They were like drumming. They were like, "Happy anniversary!" And we were like, "Thank you so much."
Oh, that's so cute.
And it's always fun to stand and watch though. That one, there was a little bit of a crowd. It made it seem a little bit more like a parade, the way that people were lining the street, but you can follow it right out.
Right.
Unlike the parades.
Right.
So that was probably like 5 or 10 minutes, and then we actually walked straight over to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Because I've ridden it before, but he had not, because it had been new since he'd been there. So I was like, we have to ride this. You are going to love this ride. It'll be awesome. And the wait was 15 minutes.
Yeah, that is so short.
I was so excited because we waited probably 45 to 50 minutes when we were there.
Yeah.
So I was like, 15 minutes, we need to get in this line now. He was like, all right. So we did wait the 15 minutes, I would say. And he decided that was his new favorite ride at Disney. So that was pretty awesome. Ride. It's such a cute ride, and it's so cool the way it's like the trackless thing, and you all separate. Mm-hmm. And it's a little bit of a long ride, too. So it was nice to relax and be in the air conditioning and just enjoy the ride for a little bit.
Yeah, that's really fun.
And then, so after we got off there, we were hanging out, and we actually saw Mickey and Friends Cavalcade, and Chip and Dale and everybody was there. Minnie and Mickey are in their, like, matching Camaros that are wrapped in Mickey and Minnie print, which is cute.
I know, those are cute.
And, Mickey even said, my boyfriend got, so I have the ears that are the hands, that are the Mickey, and he ended up getting them too to match. So he was wearing them, and Mickey totally loved his ears and was, like, giving him a heart, and they were having, like, a whole conversation, because where we had ended up standing, there was, like, nobody there. So we were, like, talking to the characters as they slowly rolled through.
Oh, that's so nice. What a cool experience.
It was, yes, it's so cool, because you don't get to, like, see them the way you used to, but it's nice to still feel like you have personal interactions with them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And you don't have to wait.
Exactly. So it was nice to see them. And after that, we had wanted to go to Toy Story Land, and I don't know what happened, but we probably circled around 2 or 3 times, and I was like, where is it? Why is it not here? Why are we going the wrong way? What is happening? We even asked somebody, and still came a full circle around. Every time we come back to the beginning of Galaxy's Edge, and I was like, this is not where I want to be.
Oh my gosh, that's really funny.
Yeah, and it was... What was funky about it is because of the way Mickey and Railway's line cuts through and kind of cuts off the one area a little bit. So that's, I think, what confused me.
Yeah.
As someone who's been there a ton of times, I was like, this has never happened to me. I've never been lost before.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. But yeah, the lines are just different, and they make things feel different. Mm-hmm. They make the park feel different. I don't think people realize that.
It does, especially when you see a line that's all the way out, nowhere near the ride, and you're like, what? And then you realize it's just because it's social distance that it stretches a lot longer than you'd expect.
Yes.
So, after looping around 3 times, we gave up, and we went into Galaxy's Edge. Because I knew I wanted to go there anyway, so I was like, I know Galaxy's Edge connects us to Toy Story Land, so let's just go in. He was like, okay.
You're like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I was like, we'll get there eventually. I know it comes up. It's just not the way I expected.
That's so funny.
So we went into Galaxy's Edge, and obviously we didn't have Rise of the Resistance, which was fine for us, but it was cool to walk around, because I had never seen Star Wars. I'd been to Galaxy's Edge a couple times, but I was 21 and I had never seen any of the Star Wars at all.
Oh,
and
wow.
within the last, year, I started watching them. And I'm not even through all 9 of them. I made it through the old ones, and then the 1, 2, 3, and I just watched, Force Awakens not that long ago. Mm-hmm. But it was nice to go and actually understand it.
Oh, yeah. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah, now I see what the life is about.
Yes, so it was nice to go through and understand it. And I was like, oh, look at this. And my boyfriend was like, you're such a nerd. But, yeah, we had a good time in there, and we didn't even ride a ride. We didn't really want to wait for the Smuggler's Run or anything, because the line was probably 45 minutes. So we weren't too keen on waiting for that, so we just, like, looked around, and the Star Troopers were out. Stormtroopers, not Star Troopers. Whoa. But they were out, and they talked to you, right? So you can, like, walk right up there, and they'll talk to you, and my boyfriend was set on bothering them in some way. I have a video of him trying to, because they always pick somebody out of the crowd, and they just did not want to pay him any attention. So he was, like, yelling at them, just like, hey, talk to me, and they were like, no, get back in line. He tried so hard, but they were just like, just get in line, dude, just go.
They're like, we don't want to mess with him.
Yes, exactly. Which, I mean, the Stormtroopers are supposed to be a little mean, so it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. And I took a video of it and whatnot, but after that, I mean, we didn't do much. We went and got the blue milk, because I was like, do you want to commit and try the blue milk? It seems weird. I'm a little nervous about it, but let's do it. So we got it. We took a vlog of us trying it, and I actually really liked it.
Oh, good.
A little fruity. It's not quite as slushy, but like it is. But I thought it was good. It reminded me of like Fruit Loops even.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've never tried the blue milk because I don't like milk, and I know it's not milk, but I can't like wrap my head around it.
Yeah, and that's why I hadn't tried it before either. I was like, I heard it's a weird texture. A lot of people say they're not a fan, so I don't know if I want to risk it. But we were just like, whatever, let's just commit. Let's try it. We'll share it between the two of us, so it's not like we're wasting money or anything.
Right.
And we both ended up liking it and thought it was all right. So.
That's good. Yeah, it's either you like it or you don't like it, from what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, and we thought it was all right, so we were good.
Nice.
And then after we had that, we decided finally to head over to Toy Story Land, which we did find this time. Yay. It was right there. And you come in on the side where, like, Woody's lunchbox and Buzz is. So that was fun. Took some pictures over there. And we rode Toy Story Mania, which is a classic for us. And we're very competitive. So we were, like, trash-talking each other before we even got on the ride. And the cast members were like, I'm picking him. No, I'm picking her. So we were, like, ready to go. I ended up winning. Yay. He was salty about it. But I was proud of myself. I took a picture of it, too. Because I was like, you're not going to tell people you won. It was me. I won.
That's so funny. We did the same thing when we rode it. We're very competitive with each other, like my kids and my husband. And I won one day, and my kids were like mad. What? Again? Yeah. I'm like, come on, guys.
I'm like, sorry, I got a better aim than you. I don't know what to say.
I'm just so good.
Like, yeah, when my family went too, it was even more competitive because my boyfriend and my brother rode together. Oh, so it was hilarious, the two of them.
That's a fun ride. It can really.
I love that ride. I think it's going. Worth it to wait longer for it too. We didn't wait long. We only waited 10 minutes. Like it was a very short wait, which is shocking for that ride. Usually it's like an hour. So we were like, let's go. And while we were waiting there, I was like, do you want some Woody's lunchbox? And he was like, yeah. Which it hadn't been opened when my mom and I went. Which we were disappointed because we didn't know they had grilled cheese, and we've seen everybody hyping up the grilled cheese a lot, and we were really disappointed that we didn't get it. But I was like, let's get this grilled cheese. I need to know what it tastes like.
So y'all did the mobile order for that? And how did that
go? So I mobile ordered it, and the wait for it was probably a half hour or so, a little more than that even. I was like, oh, well, what the heck? So we decided to jump in line for Slinky at that point, and it was ready by the time we were done.
Oh, that's smart.
Which that wasn't my plan. I thought I was just going to walk up in the next 10 minutes and it would be ready, and it was not. So
yeah, I've heard that that's one of the places that people have to wait the longest for food.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so popular.
Yes, and it was. And while we were waiting, we got to ride Slinky Dog, which we weren't sure if we were going to get to do, but we do love that ride. The wait was listed at probably 40 minutes. We waited like a half hour, because I was a little worried that our food would be ready before we were done, but it worked out, like, perfectly. So we walked right up there after we were off the ride, and I was like, I got it, and they went in. We grabbed our food. We could only find, like, a standing table at the time, but there was a couple at, like, a sitting table with 2 extra chairs that they let us have, which was nice. So we, like, sat and ate it on our laps. It felt like we were in school, like, eating out of our lunchbox.
Did y'all like the food?
It was... Yes, I loved it. It was such a good grilled cheese. And they call them potato barrels, which I think is so cute, but it's just tater tots.
Yes.
And they were so crunchy, just everything about it was so good.
Oh, that sounds so good. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had been eating all day too, and we weren't stopping anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, you're
I was definitely a little full at that point.
Yeah. You gotta just suck it up and eat.
Yes, that was kind of how we were living. We were there for the snacks, for sure.
Yeah, what'd y'all do after you ate?
After we ate, we chilled for a little bit. We were pretty full at that point, and it was pretty close to park close, because they closed at, like, 7. So we're there 2 hours, and we got to do all the rides we wanted to do, because after that, we were like, okay, let's go over to Rock and Roller Coaster, even if the park closes, like, we're already in line. So, it's fine.
Yeah, that's smart.
So, we had walked over there, and the Rock and Roller Coaster line is a little intimidating, because it kind of, like, comes out and stretches around and wraps around in, like, a spiral, even. It's a little funky how they have it set up, but our wait was probably, like, a half hour, not even.
That's not bad.
So, it wasn't bad at all, and we hopped on there. We had a great time. We love roller coasters. We love Rock and Roller Coaster. So we were really excited that we got to do that one too. And then by then, the park was closing, so we left. We got back on the Skyliner, and we went back over at Epcot.
Was there a long line to get on the Skyliner at that point?
Not horrible, no.
Okay.
Nowhere near the beginning of the morning. You'd think because the park closed it would be really long, but it went really quick.
That's good.
So it wasn't bad.
Nice. And so y'all went back to Epcot?
We did, because Epcot is open till 11. It's open 11 to 11. And it was only, like, 7. So we were like, let's go. So we got back to Epcot. Really wanted to ride Test Track, so we went and waited in line for Test Track. Test Track was kind of long, but it wasn't horrible. Maybe, I want to say, like, a half hour or so. That was probably, like, the longest we waited for the day, even. So we had waited for that. We rode it. It was awesome. It's not as... I don't want to say it's not as fun, because it's still a great ride, but it's not as fun when you can't build your own car and, like, compete like you used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing in that part, but we still had a really good time speeding around. You don't get to see as many cars when you get off either. We always love stopping and looking at all the cars, but they still had a couple, so it was still nice.
That's fun.
Yeah, and that was his to-do for the day, because how about we were walking, and he, like, kind of was gravitating away. And I was like, why do you keep, like, walking on this diagonal? And he goes, my body just gravitates towards Test Track. I don't know what to say. It was so funny. I was like, you are such a dork, man. We'll ride it, I promise.
You're like, okay, we'll do it, I promise.
Yes, he goes, I just have this magnetic pull to it. I'm sorry. I was like, okay.
It is
we'll ride it. I'll make sure we'll ride it.
Yeah.
Yes, and it is a fun ride. I had a good time. After that, it was kind of late. I mean, we had gotten there at 7:30 or so it was already like 8 or 9 even. And so we were like, well, what do we do with the rest of our time? We really wanted to ride Frozen, but the line had always been so long all day. It was like an hour or so, like wrapped all the way to China. So we were like, that's a wait for sure. So we had avoided it. So instead, we went and got margaritas in Mexico, because that was another thing that I was like, this is what I want to do while we're here, because we're 21. I want a margarita. I want to drink it in Mexico.
Yes.
So we got we didn't even get one of the, like, specialty ones for the Flower and Garden. Like, we committed to, like, the margarita stand that's always there.
That's fun.
We went classic for it. It was fun. I had a strawberry one. I want to say he had, like, the mixed one that was, like, strawberry and mango, maybe.
Okay.
So we had them, and we went into Mexico Temple, because we thought we would ride the Grand Fiesta Tour while we drank our margaritas. Well, you can't have drinks on the ride. So we were a little upset. So we sat on the fountain of Mexico and just drank our margaritas. And once we were done, we went and rode the Grand Fiesta Tour, which I love that ride. I think it's so cute.
It is cute.
And I was singing the song the whole time, and he was like, "Why do you know this?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just know it. I'm a Disney person."
Did y'all not have to wait for that very long?
Probably like less than 10 minutes. Okay, it had been significantly shorter for sure.
Yeah, that's the earlier in the day. Time to wait.
Yeah, which was like the perfect time to wait. And we had been walking a lot that day, so it was nice to sit down and just ride in a boat for a little bit.
That's fun.
And then after that, we finally looked at the Frozen, and it was probably around 10:30 at that point in the night, so it was only a half hour till we closed. And the wait was listed as 35 or 40 minutes, and we were like, whatever, that's the last thing we have to do today. We get to it, cool. So we hopped in line, we probably waited 25 minutes, and we got to ride Frozen. It was awesome.
That's great. So it sounds like the key to that is either do it first thing in the morning or close to park closing.
Yeah, well, that one's a little touchy, because even when my mom and I went, we had found a time in like the middle of the day where it started raining, so everyone was just kind of flocking to it because that line's indoors. Mm-hmm. And we ended up getting in at just the right point that we only waited a half hour for it too. Mm-hmm. So you got to pick like the rush times. Like you got to go before or after lunch, or a meal time is definitely the best way to get that one done.
Yeah, that's smart.
But that's how we closed out our day. That was our last ride. We were really excited because we had ridden everything we really wanted to ride. We might have missed a couple, like we didn't ride Spaceship Earth, but it wasn't the end of the world, so we were okay with it. And we were off of it probably by 10:45, so places were kind of starting to close and stuff. So we had power walked back to Italy so that Joey could get a pizza and a cannoli. And that was our last food of the day. And we got back to the Skyliner, rode back home.
Was the Skyliner line long to get back home?
No, I felt like almost no one was there that late. Like, when we were walking through, we barely saw anybody around 10:30 other than in lines. So it might be open late, but it's almost nice, because you could tell, like, families with small kids are done for the day at that point, so it's nice to get around and feel like there's time to do things with less people there.
Yeah, I was wondering what that park actually was like close in the evening, because, yeah, I mean, like, if you have small kids, you cannot stay out that late.
Until 11? Yeah, no. I always thought it was so interesting that it was open that late, but it's definitely fun to stay that late for sure.
Yeah.
Especially when it's just 2 people or a family with older people. Then it's nice to get through and there's less waits for things.
Yeah, that's smart. That's probably a good tip for people who are going to park hop. Maybe save Epcot for an evening.
Well, we thought about, even when we were at Magic Kingdom, we thought about leaving and going to Epcot and just having like dinner in Epcot, but we had decided not to. But that was definitely an idea we had, was to go there and have dinner if we hadn't done everything we had wanted to do in Magic Kingdom. So,
and if the Epcot monorail was open, that would be so easy.
Oh, it would be easy.
It would just make the
I'm not sure if it is.
It's not.
Honestly.
Last I heard, it's still closed, so you'd have to ride a bus.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that is the busiest day. Like, it sounds so much fun, but y'all did so much.
It was. We did so much, and that day we took 30,608 steps, and we had walked 12.6 miles.
That's crazy.
We were both ready for our legs to fall off by the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
But we weren't upset about it. We had the best day we could have had, so we were just happy. We were chill. We were warm from the sun. Like, we got tan. So on our way back, we were just like, this was good. This was a long day, but this was good.
Oh, yeah. That sounds so fun. When I, just listening to your story, you can totally tell that you know what you're doing, because y'all navigated everything so smart. I tried
to be the smartest about things, because our worry with only 2-day park hoppers was that we wouldn't get to do everything we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we were just kind of like, let's just commit and hop. Let's just commit and go back. What's the worst that could happen? Like, it was worth it for sure.
You definitely took it. Y'all got the best, like, deal with y'all's tickets, the way y'all did everything. That was very smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the next day.
So excited that we got to do everything.
Yeah, y'all did great. Okay, so for your, I guess this would be day 4, technically, counting the day you got there.
Technically,
your third full day. What did y'all do?
Yeah. We had a relaxed day. So we slept in, we went to the pool. We were a little worried about the pool because we had heard there had been like lines for it, since that's somewhere that you can be mask free. So we were a little worried it was going to be busy, but it wasn't bad. It was really warm. It was probably like 75. We sat in the pool for maybe an hour. It was nice to relax after the long day prior. We were both like, wow, our legs are sore. So it was nice to just sit in the pool and chill out. We had lunch at the pool. We got cocktails over at the little, I think it's called like Petals, something like that. And we just had what they had there. And that was really good. And we didn't do much. We just had lunch, and then it was time to shower and get ready to go to Disney Springs, because that was our only technical like food reservation of the trip.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, we made it in to be our guest, but we didn't have reservations for anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So we got ready. We took the bus. Didn't have to wait long. There was like, we were the only ones waiting in line for the bus. So it wasn't bad. We didn't have to wait terrible. It felt like it took a little bit, but it was probably like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it feels longer than it actually is.
Yeah, because it was so hot, so we didn't even stand in the sun. We sat on a bench under like the awning and waited for the bus to come, and then right when it came, like a couple other people came, but nothing too crazy. So,
So what day of the week was this? Do you remember?
This was Thursday.
Okay, so how was Disney Springs? Was it busy or was it kind of empty? Because y'all were there, like midday at this point? Maybe early evening?
Yeah, it was midday to early evening, and it wasn't terrible. We didn't really have to wait long for like the temperature checks or anything like that. We just kind of walked in. There were people there for sure, and it felt busier later even than when we first got there. So it wasn't terrible. I mean, we got in. We shopped a little. Our reservation was for 5:15, so it was probably like 3 when we got there, and we walked around. We went to like Zara and a couple other like little places that weren't necessarily Disney stores that are just fun to go to there. And then, I mean, we actually ended up at our reservation at 5, and they just sat us down right away.
Where was your reservation at?
We went to the House of Blues, because we spent a lot of time trying to decide where to go, because there's a lot to eat down in Disney Springs, and there's debating over what would be the best, and we settled on House of Blues, and it was really good.
Nice. What did y'all get to eat?
So we actually got 2 different appetizers. We got the voodoo shrimp, which was awesome. That was definitely my favorite of everything we got, probably. We got, I think they were called either tornado or hurricane fries. And they had like cheese and bacon and all this stuff on it. And it was good, but I like the shrimp better. And then I had a raspberry mojito, and my boyfriend had this drink. I don't remember what it was called. I wish I could. But I know on the menu, it had a thing that said limit 1 per customer. That's
hilarious.
I was like, that's probably going to be pretty strong. And it had like a shooter on the side. It was kind of like a margarita. And then it had a shooter on the side of Grand Marnier.
Oh my goodness.
And he's not like a huge drinker, and he always likes the fruity stuff a little better. So he was a little shocked by the Grand Marnier. He was like, maybe I'll just mix this in there instead of taking it as a shot.
That's funny.
But we both really enjoyed our drinks, and then I had a really hard time choosing on the menu because there was a lot of stuff that I thought sounded good, but I ended up choosing the Cajun pasta. It was awesome. It had like a little bit of a kick to it, but nothing crazy. And he got this, like, barbecue thing with chicken. Once they pulled pork, there was, like, mac and cheese. It was like a real barbecue plate.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he really liked it. We didn't end up getting dessert there just because we had other ideas and plans of what to do.
Yeah. There's
It was good.
There's just so many options in Disney Springs. It's so
There
fun.
is. It's a little overwhelming. I can see how it would be. And I feel like we definitely didn't see everything. I almost wish we had gone a little bit earlier, but I had a good time at the pool too, so I wasn't that upset about it.
Yeah. So what else did y'all do while you were there?
So after dinner, we came out, and M&M store is right there, the new one. So we hopped in line for that. We did have to wait to get in there, but it wasn't too crazy. It was probably like 10 minutes, so we had to wait to get in there. Most of the stores at Disney Springs are like that, where there's a line that you have to wait to get in because of the limited capacity, but nothing is too horrible of a wait.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to the M&M store. That was super cool. It smells great in there. It smells like chocolate. It was such a good time. We each got like those cups that you can go around the M&M wall that we filled. I still have mine. He still has his.
That's cute. I know. I wonder the people who work there just smelling chocolate all day. It's either would be so nice or it would get old.
I feel like they're probably used to it already.
They might not even notice it.
True. But we went there. We went a couple other places, just kind of in the area around there. Like there's like a Disney Trends store. We went to the Marvel store. We went to the Star Wars store. Like we went a couple of places.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get like a ton of stuff just because we had already been to 2 parks, so we had stuff from then too.
Mm-hmm.
And I had wanted Gideon's. Gideon's is newer in Disney Springs, and it's a cookie place. And I really wanted it. And I knew that there would be like a wait, but I didn't know how early you had to get in the virtual queue. And by the time we got there, it was only 7. So like Disney Springs was open for another 3.5 hours. So I was like, it'll be fine. And the virtual queue was closed for the day.
Oh, man.
I was so sad because I was really looking forward to it.
Huh. I wonder if you have to like do it early.
Pretty early, I would say. Because I actually ended up having a friend that was also in Disney at the time that I didn't know if she was there, but I saw her when we were in Disney Springs, and I texted her. I was like, "Oh, are you in Disney right now?" She was like, "Yeah." And they ended up getting into Gideon's, so she must have been there pretty early in the day. She said she had gotten in the virtual queue a while earlier. So.
Oh my gosh, that's just nuts.
So instead of that, I was like, hey, do you want to go to the ganachery? And he did not know what that was. But it's just like a little chocolate store. It's a pretty small store, so we did have to wait in line for probably 20 minutes. But the way where they had the line, you could like sit on the like ledges pretty easily. So it didn't really feel like you were waiting in line. It kind of just felt like you were hanging out. That's
fun.
Yeah, and then when we got in there, because it was close to Easter again, they had these chocolate bunnies that had, it's basically chocolate milk in it. They call it like chocolate drink. So we got those, and I got like a little like 6 thing to take home with me too. And he got a s'more, he got the bunny, he got other chocolate to take. He spent a lot there.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, that was where he was at. And it wasn't as bad. He was picking all this stuff, and I was like, this is going to be a lot. And it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of reasonable. That makes sense. So, and the s'more is cool because you watch them, like, torch it right there. They have a window that you can see into where they're making chocolate and stuff.
Oh, that's neat.
So we got to watch them torch his s'more, and then we went and sat outside, and that chocolate drink was probably the best chocolate milk I've ever had. It was so decadent, I guess would be the best word. It was so good. And the bunny was edible too, so then you could eat your chocolate bunny after you drank out of it.
Yeah, that sounds like the coolest thing. I've never heard of that. That's really neat.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they do that for different seasons.
I don't know. They do a lot of, I know they do a lot of different stuff for different holidays. Like I know they're coming out with hot chocolate bombs for Halloween that are the Sanderson sisters. I was just watching it on Disney's TikTok.
That's so cute.
they do all kinds of cute stuff for different holidays, but I had never seen that before. And I was like, I'll take one of those.
That's so cute. My kids would have loved
And it was
that.
definitely a good dessert, for sure.
That's fun. So where else did y'all head to?
After that, it was definitely feeling a little busy in there. We waited in line for probably a half hour or so to go into World of Disney. It was a long line. I was a little annoyed with it, but I got it. I mean, it's a pretty big store, and when we got in there, it was like busy. It was very frantic. Like, it was hard to find somebody to ask a question or anything. That was probably like one of the negative experiences we had while we were there. Like, my boyfriend wanted the Spirit jersey and he couldn't find it in his size, and we had to ask 3 different people before someone knew what was going on, that looked it up and was like, we don't have that size right now. So
yeah, that can be frustrating.
That was it was a little hectic, but ended up going through and get our stuff. I got my mom a mug, I got my dad a mug, I got me a shirt, my brother something. Like, we all got our stuff for our families and whatnot. And the line for it wasn't terrible. Like, I probably waited 5 or 10 minutes to get to a register just because of the social distancing and everything. But it was busy, and I ended up losing Joey at one point. I had checked out, so I had to leave. There's no way to turn back at that point.
Right.
So I had to sit outside, and I was like, I saw him scurry past at one point, and I called him. I was like, I just saw you pass the door. If you go a little bit further, that's where the line starts. And then just come straight out that door, because there's more than one register, so I was worried he'd come out the wrong door.
Yeah, and then y'all'd be lost.
Yeah, a little bit, but he found me, and we were good. We ended up going over to the co-op after that. I bought my dog. We have 2 dogs, and one had gotten a collar when we were there at Christmas. It's Minnie the Mouse. I don't know why I said the mouse. It's just something our family does sometimes.
That's cute.
But she has a mini collar, so I got our other dog a Haunted Mansion one. So I got her a cute little purple dog collar. That's awesome. She loved it.
Aww.
And other than that, in the co-op, we didn't really get anything. We walked around. My boyfriend wanted to go to Harley Davidson, so we went there. He got a shirt. I mean, we're from Milwaukee, so he always is a little weary of getting Harley elsewhere, just because people in Milwaukee are like, it's here. It's from here. Why would you go somewhere else?
Right.
But he got an Orlando shirt, and that was cool. And then, I mean, we just walked around until we were tired and went back to our room because we had to be up very, very early the next day.
How late did y'all stay at Disney Springs?
Probably 9:45, 10. I mean, I'm pretty sure it closed around 10. They don't kick you out or anything, but things start closing at 10, so we probably stayed till around then.
Okay.
And the walk back to our bus from Disney Spring is kind of far. You don't expect it because you're like, oh, it says this way. But then it branches off again. And the poor people, we walked up and there were 2 people waiting there. And they said the lady had time to run over to the Speedway across the street to get a drink and then come back. That was how long they had been waiting there.
Oh my god.
I felt bad.
Yeah,
but we only waited probably 10 minutes.
Yeah, I've heard people having to wait a really long time for buses at Disney Springs. It's kind of hit or miss. You either have a good experience or you don't.
And at Disney Springs, it's very weird because you see a ton of buses everywhere, and some of them are just empty. And you're like, why is this bus here and not taking people somewhere?
Yes.
So that kind of makes it does get frustrating to watch buses just sit there, and you're like, we're waiting in kind of a line at this point, and still nothing.
Yes, I know.
The bus that actually came from us was a coach bus. It wasn't even a Disney bus. It was very odd.
Huh. Yeah, especially if you see empty buses, you're like, you have a bus, but oh well, at least it was a nicer bus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, your travel day, you said you had to wake up early. How early did y'all have to get up and get moving?
So our flight was set for 7:20, and the Magical Express comes 3 hours before that. So we left Pop Century at 4:20 in the morning.
That's crazy.
It was
That's
very
so
early, very dark. We maybe only slept like 3 hours just because we were like, whatever. Like, we had packed up all our stuff, which took some time.
Mm-hmm.
So we did not sleep for very long. We got to the airport around 7. Well, we didn't get to the airport around 7. We were like sitting down waiting by 7. Security wasn't horrible. They definitely had like 20 lanes, I would say, to go through. But they were just like, go, go, go. They kind of hustle you along.
Yeah. They're not nice at the airport like they are at Disney.
Yeah, no.
It's like a reality
people at the airport by the Magical Express are nice, but other than that, they're a little grouchy sometimes.
Yeah, sure. You're like, we're not at Disney anymore.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a little bit of a, oh yeah, we're going back now, huh? Yeah. You leave that bubble and it's sad.
Yeah, you're like, the real world, yes. So overall, it sounds like y'all had a really great trip.
We did. We had an awesome time. We got to do a lot of cool things and see a lot of cavalcades and characters, and a lot of people often were congratulating us on our 2-year anniversary. It was perfect. It was really good.
That's fun. What was your least favorite memory or moment of the trip, do you think?
Probably when we were in World of Disney, and I had to ask like 4 different people what was going on, and they were like, I don't know. They definitely have cast members kind of scattered right now, where you can tell they're not where they usually work. Mm-hmm. Like, that even happened when we were at Galaxy's Edge. The lady who was at the Blue Milk stand definitely did not know a lot about Star Wars. Oh. Where like these kids had come up to her and asked if she was like a part of the Resistance or anything, and she had no idea what they were talking about.
Oh my gosh, that's interesting. Yeah. They were probably like so bummed out.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, that's a little awkward.
Yeah, just play it off. Say something.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't so bad where it wasn't still magical or someone didn't know what they were doing. Like, there's definitely somebody around that knows what they're doing. It just might be a little bit harder to find them.
Yeah. And what was your favorite moment or memory of the trip?
I had a lot of favorites. I really did have a great time. I thought it was awesome when we got our extra gray stuff and got our little postcard from the Beast. I really liked seeing Chip and Dale in their little cowboy outfits. And Epcot was great. I had a really great time running around getting different drinks. When we had gotten our wine slushies and we were standing there drinking, there was a couple not far from us who was debating whether or not to go up. And they were like, oh, is that good? And my boyfriend was like, this is the best drink I've ever had. So it's fun to interact with people and tell them what was good or what was not, or give suggestions.
That's really fun. I really want that drink now.
It was so good. Like an orange dreamsicle, kind of. It was good.
Oh, it sounds so good. Is there anything else you want to say about the trip?
I don't know. We were a little worried about how short it was going to be. But I mean, like most people when they go to Disney, they commit to like a week-long trip that's like a park a day kind of thing. Don't be afraid to go for a short amount of time, especially if you've already been there. Like, I understand wanting to take a long time to really get everything. But at this point, Disney, especially Disney World versus Disneyland, it's so big that you're probably not going to get it all done, and don't be upset if you don't, just because there's so much. You can only walk so far, run so fast, and just come across so many experiences that something else comes up that will probably be better for you anyway, or more exciting in some way, or surprising, like running into 2 different cavalcades right in a row and getting to have like personal interactions with characters. That it's always magical.
That's actually some really good advice, because people, I think, do try to cram everything and I have to do it, and you actually don't have to do it. It'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be okay for sure.
Yeah, you don't even remember the stuff you didn't do. You just think about all the things you did and how fun it was. So yeah, that's great advice.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Are you planning a trip back anytime soon or just waiting and seeing?
I don't know. I really want to go back during the anniversary because I didn't say this earlier, but I'm a huge Ratatouille fan, and that's when that ride opens, plus it's the anniversary, and I just really want to go during that because I know that's like gonna be they're gonna make a big deal out of it, and that's not gonna happen on like that scale again until I'm pretty old at that point. So that's something I really want to get there for. I know my family really wants to go to Avengers Campus. We are huge Marvel people, so we might try to figure something out. If California opens up to non-California residents, we would love to go over there because we would love to see Avengers Campus that opens soon, but nothing solidly in the books yet, unfortunately. Just a lot of talk of what we want to do soon.
Yeah, hopefully, I'm really hoping that I kind of hope park reservations go away so it makes traveling there easier. Because you can't really last minute travel now, but who knows?
Yeah.
Things could be changing.
It's a little difficult, but it's also nice. I don't know. I don't mind them having a lower capacity or anything. It feels nicer. It feels like there's more room to just breathe. Like, I've been there that it's been wall to wall, and I've been there when it's been less, and the less is definitely a little nicer.
Yes, for sure.
And I understand the reservations. I don't know how I feel about it. I didn't mind it, but it sucks for like Hollywood studios where it's booked so far out that you don't have to have a choice unless you're choosing not to ride that specific ride.
Right.
You know?
That's true. I know. It's just, it'll be interesting to see what the summer brings.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially with things changing so quick.
Yeah. Well, Karoline, thanks for coming on the show. It was so great talking to you and hearing all about your trip. And you said you made a vlog. Do you have a YouTube channel or an Instagram that you want to promote?
We haven't put it together yet or anything, but we've been working on it a little bit. My boyfriend will probably be the one to post it. I'll post it too. It's just our personal Instagrams though. Mine is at Karoline Sanders. I'll be sharing that I'm going to be on this podcast later today and stuff, and I'll be commenting. You can probably find me there. I did post a lot of pictures from the trip, too, that you could see, and I have, like, a highlight on my Instagram page with, like, the different stories I had from when we were there and other times I've been there.
That sounds great. All right. Thank you, Karoline.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed hearing about Karoline's trip to Disney World. To see pictures from their vacation, visit our Instagram page at Disney Travel Tales. If you would like more information on how our sponsor Trolley Lane Travel can help you plan your next Disney vacation, please visit trolleylanetravel.com. Be sure to mention that Disney Travel Tales sent you. If you plan a trip with Trolley Lane Travel and would like to be featured on the show, let your agent know. This is how we get our guests. And of course, this show would not be successful without your vacation stories. And finally, please help support the podcast by rating and reviewing it on Apple Podcasts. This is the best way for people to become familiar with the show. I look forward to being with you next Tuesday for a new show and guest. Until then, this is Jenny, and may all your Disney travel dreams become a reality.